Uh, what's up, guys? I just wanted to tell you that something pretty important. Actually, I just thought I'd bring up. Ninjas are fucking like in New York, man. They're still here. Like they're here in New York, not just in Chinatown, but they're fucking everywhere. Um, I know this because of a personal experience that I had with a friend of mine. Dirty Muffin Danny is what I call him. Like, that's a story for another day. But basically, what happens is me and Danny are chilling in the subway, and we buy it from this like little store inside the subway. We buy like $30 of candy. It's like garbage bag, like this big, full of candy, and it's actually pretty big. It's the size of my fucking chest, which is my boobs aren't that big, but it's pretty big. It's a pretty big bag of candy and garbage food, junk food. And we're sitting there chilling in the subway, and we're just talking before we actually start to dig into our bag of candy. And this guy all the way across, because we're sitting on one end of the subway car. He's sitting on the other end, and he's wearing all black with this Naruto headband, and he's got the bike mask on, and he's sitting there, and I reach for the candy because I remember I bought like 3 packs of Skittles, and I'm ready to get sugar high, and I reach for it, and all I feel is the cold hard, whatever the fuck that material is that the seats are made of in the subway. And I look over at Danny. He's like, "Where the fuck is the garbage bag? The garbage bag candy." And it's between the two of us. It's in between us. It's in between me and him. And I think I remember him passing by us once. I think, like, I remember the doors, those doors to go between cars, between two different cars. I think I heard someone coming out of there and walking past us, but I was paying attention to Danny because we're just chilling. And we look over at the other side of the car because there's no one else in the car except some old lady who's like, we think she was dead because she was like, her eyes were closed. She wasn't making any noise. Like, don't all old people snore? So, like, we're sitting there, we're looking at the other end of the car, and this guy is sitting over there with our exact bag of junk food eating our Doritos. And me and Danny get so pissed. We get up, and we're not obviously not going to attack a ninja. So we're just like trying to be cool. Walk over to the guy. We ask him very, very nicely to have our bag of candy back. So basically, he gets up as soon as the car stops, and he pulls out this newspaper that's rolled up super tight, like a gigantic blunt, and it's tied up with a string to hold it. And he jumps up with this freaking, I thought it was a knife at first. I jumped back because it was like miscolored or whatever, so I thought it was like a knife. And I jump back. Danny's just standing like a retard, and he looks at the guy with the knife and the newspaper roll, and he runs out of the fucking car, and we chase him because we want our $30 bag of candy, which is huge. It's like mad deep, like this fucking deep, and we're chasing him for the bag, and not even thinking this guy could be holding like some kind of weapon on him, or he could be holding I don't know. But I guess the logic behind that was, he's just trying to steal candy and shit. He's not going to be armed. So we chase after him. He goes up onto the stairway, onto the thing to switch between platforms, and he lights up this little newspaper shit on, like, not on fire, but he takes a match to it, and then smoke magically starts popping out of it. I thought it was on fire, but I didn't see any fire. So I'm just sitting there. It's on fire. Me and Danny are just standing there right in front of him. He drops it, like rolls it at us on the floor. And then the smoke is like in our faces. I don't want to breathe it in because I saw you can make a smoke bomb out of ping pong balls that you cut up. And that's like melted plastic. Who wants to breathe that shit in, right? So I'm sitting there. I'm thinking, okay, there could be some kind of chemical in that I don't want to breathe in, like chlorine or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know. And I don't want to breathe it in, so I'm holding my breath. Danny's asthmatic, so he's having trouble breathing because of the smoke or whatever. So he's like holding his breath as best as he can. And like 3 seconds later, I managed to stomp the fucking, thing out, the little newspaper, because by then it was really going. Like the whole hallway between the platforms was like puffed up in smoke. So I managed to like finally find it in that cloud of smoke blurring in my eyes, and I stomp it out and I put my shoe on it, and I can still see the smoke coming out from underneath my shoe. So me and Danny are sitting there. I pick up what's left of our little garbage bag of candy, which is like 3, 4 bags of Skittles, a box of Mike and Ike's, and a half-drunk bottle of, I think it was Sprite or Mountain Dew. I forgot. I have a question for you guys. Which one's better, Sprite or Mountain Dew? Just asking. So this guy's disappeared. He's got all our candy and shit, and we stomped a little smoke bomb thingy out. If you know how to make it, please tell me because I have no idea how he made it, like ninja magic. So he disappears. We don't see his face. He's got green eyes, and he disappears. That's all we saw. Don't know if he was Asian or white or whatever. Not saying all ninjas are Asian because there are white boy ninjas. So my friend Ryan, Abraham Lincoln High School, is a black ninja. So he's got an extra advantage there. Wow, that was really. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. So anyway, I just want to show you guys that if you're ever going to chase a ninja, don't. Because if I can hide this much shit on me, a ninja could probably have like a fucking, like, literally behind his coat, there'll be like a gun rack of shit on his back. So like, if you ever want to chase a ninja, don't, because you'll just lose him, so it's just a wasted effort, and if he does decide to fight, don't do it. Ninjas will fucking kill you. So I just wanted to show you. I'm dressed up like the kind of guy you wouldn't look at twice except for my Darth Vader shirt, so just trying to take a good look at me. Just, you see? And I just wanted to show you guys that I'm the kind of guy who's dressed up like you wouldn't look at me twice if I was on the street. I'm not even kidding. Like, you would not pay attention to me, you wouldn't notice me, you wouldn't, whatever. It doesn't matter. And so ninjas are often dressed up this way so they won't attract attention in the urban area. So I just want to show you guys some of the stuff I have on me. Ninjas love to pack knives. Knives are like everything to a ninja because they're small, they're nice and sharp, they can cut through shit. Yeah, knives. And this little utility knife I have, and this one that I found when I was like 10. I've actually been hiding it all these years, but whatever. Then there's my big ass kitchen Rambo knife. I just call it the Rambo knife because I burned it and made it black and sharpened the edge, so that's the only part of it that shines. So yeah, there's that. It's also very sharp, so ninjas would cut with this too. It's mostly cutting because it's got curves. What else do I have on me? Oh yeah, straw. Doesn't look like much, right? Add a couple of custom-made blow darts, and you have a weapon that can deliver poison or anthrax or whatever the fuck that ninja wants to use to kill a person. This actually works too. I don't know if you guys know this, but it works. I just want to show you guys on this little dummy that I have here. It's not really a dummy. I bought this for real cheap, like $1. And I don't want to shoot my hand, so God help me. It works. And that's pretty much gone almost all the way in to the eye patch. That's that whole bit right there that went in. So yeah, that works too. And it's just a straw that you can get at any kind of like store for free if you buy in Arizona or something. Don't drink Arizona if you have nowhere to go to the bathroom either. That's when it's the worst. It will go through you so fast. So I also had on me, oh look, 3 markers, no harm, right? Yeah, that kind of thinking is gonna get you killed. Let's start with the worst one. The worst, like this is possibly the worst one you ever want to get hit with. It's a shank hidden inside a marker. That still works. You're obviously not going to think, oh, they can hide something inside a marker, right? Dead wrong. That's what's going to get you killed, buddy. And it's burned black so that it doesn't shine at all. And I don't know what this little part here is made of, but it's not a pen. It's not the insert of a pen. That's all I know. It's solid metal. It's solid metal, and the tip is like really fine. So you will get cut with. You won't get cut, but you will get stabbed. I've stabbed myself with this by accident several times. It has no weight, but it's very pointy. I dropped it on my foot, and it went into my foot. I actually have a hole in my foot because I dropped that on my foot, and it hurt like a. The pain is second only to being kicked in the balls by a girl who's angry in high heels. It's the only pain in this world that can equal out to that. So I just wanted to show you this little. This one is a pen. This one's the inside of a pen, but that's still enough to kill you. This will go inside you in any way. It can't go inside you, but it'll go into like it's tiny enough on this one little point to focus all that force, and it will go into your stomach or into your ribs very easy. It's a very fine point, so it's gonna go through your ribs pretty easy, because there's like enough space between your ribs for that to get in, or at least force its way in. And it's probably got some ink still left in there, so that will be poisonous to you, I guess. Like, I'm no fucking doctor, but I do know that if you get ink from a pen in your bloodstream, that's obviously not good. Then there's this little shit thing that I found, which is, I actually made this one. It's pretty cheap shit. But this one is actually just the insert of a pen. It has a lot of ink on the tip, so it's very drenched with ink. So that's obviously not good. You don't want to get that in your ribs or whatever. And that's also burned black. I burned that one black. And, yeah, you're thinking, what else could I possibly have on me, right? Well, I still have some stuff on me. And I know you can hear it jingling in my hood, but that's only because I have two of them. I have a letter opener that's property of the New York City, whatever, I don't know. It's just stamped property of NYC. Shit. And yeah, you punch someone with this, stab them in the face, the throat, soft points, like soft, meaty points in your body, like, yeah, meaty, your groin. That's, yeah, watch out, ninjas like to go for the groin, especially girls. Yeah, there's that. And then there's this industrial sized safety pin. I just call it industrial size. I don't know if it is, but it's obviously like if you bend it to the point where it'll close into this thing like it's supposed to. Yeah, you're not gonna get stopped by a cop for having this. You can just like throw it out. They'll give you like a warning or whatever. Regardless, you can be a serial killer. You have this in your pocket. They're not gonna think anything. Well, they're gonna think something, but they have no right to like hold you over. I think. I don't know. But yeah, there's this, which is also long enough to like go anywhere in your skull from behind and just, and it's a tiny little hole, so that's what she said. But it's a tiny little puncture, so obviously it's going to be very hard to see, especially if it's in all this hair that I have. It's just very nappy. I don't know, I think it kind of looks good right now. So, there's that. Then there's the socks. Ninjas like to hide shit in their socks, or at least I do. Ow, ow, ow. Skyrim bastards. Arrows to the knee are not funny at all. This hurts like a motherfucker. Anyway, in my sock, I am holding this little pen thing. It's the insert of a pen. You hide this, you won't get stopped for any reason for it. Kids actually, I know, can take this to school. I've actually seen a guy get stabbed with one of these at school. So I just want you guys to like, be wary of this. You see a person with this, like, don't fuck with them. If they're angry enough, they will use it. They're smart enough. And also in my sock, which you cannot see, which is the whole point, a freaking screwdriver. This shit is very long. That's what she said. And it's obviously long enough to get to any vital organ in my ribs if you stab me anywhere in my chest with it. It's long enough to go into my brain anywhere you stab me with it. And it's got a nice little handle so you can punch with it and get all that force of your punch in with this, like Wolverine. So yeah, ninjas are real. They're still here. They're in New York. And they stole my munchies. You son of a bitch. If you're watching this, I'm gonna fucking get you. Jackass ninja. So yeah. Also, if you see any bastard wearing a bike mask and a Naruto hat or headband, tell him to give me my munchies back. And be careful on the subway because in New York, got some crazy motherfuckers. So thanks guys. I just wanted to show you how much shit a ninja can hide on them. So you know to be careful and watch your back.